Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles.
And my name is Kurt.
And Obi-Wan. We riled him up. Here he comes. Welcome to the preview for the NFC Divisional playoff games of the 2022-23 football season. We're going to talk Giants. We're going to talk Eagles. We're going to talk Cowboys. We're going to talk 49ers.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
The AFC was fun. Go check that out on yesterday's podcast. We talked Burrow. We talked Allen. We talked Mahomes. We talked Lawrence.
Boom. I love it.
And this is just as good. Cowboys, 49ers, Giants, Eagles. This is like just before our childhoods. You know, this is Emmitt Smith, Jerry Rice, Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White.
Hell yeah.
Randall Cunningham type of thing. This is perfect. Late 80s, early 90s. I know we were really more late 90s coming into football, but
you know, but the good franchises of the NFC are in there.
It's fantastic. Love it. So before we get to the two games, a little opening appetizer, as it were.
Little mozzarella stick for me.
It's mozzarella. It's aged in fine oak. What?
That would be terrible.
Cheese aged. They don't do that?
No. Oh. That would taste so bad.
Whiskey they put in fine oak.
Yeah.
I don't know if what's fine oak?
I'm not putting a mozzarella stick in there.
All right. Well, don't subscribe to my cheese podcast. Yeah. It's horrible. I have no idea what I'm talking about. The first question, opening question is, what is your 8 teams left? What is your ideal Super Bowl matchup?
Yeah, this is a tough one to pick, but I feel like when I was thinking about this yesterday, I want to see Andy Reid and the Chiefs against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh.
I usually hate both one seeds making the Super Bowl, but it hasn't happened in such a long time. Mm-hmm. And I'd love to see Andy Reid take down the Eagles, give them the middle finger.
Yeah.
Be like, sorry for giving me up.
Yeah.
I got 2 Super Bowls with the Chiefs.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Beautiful.
And you know, I love a number 1 seed versus a number 1 seed.
Yeah, I know
I'm
you
the
do.
type of fan who I root for the best teams to make the playoffs or make the Super Bowl.
And I think they're 2 different teams also. So, I mean, I love Mahomes. I'd love to see him get back and win another Super Bowl to kind of define his legacy. You know, he's like, I got 2. Been to 3, you know, that kind of thing. And I want to see Jalen Hurts make it and see what he's really made of.
Yeah, and that is the number 1 and 2 offense in the NFL. And Hurts and Mahomes probably 1-2 in MVP voting as well. Yeah. So, yeah, that'd be good. Mine is 49ers Bills.
Okay, yeah.
That's for talking about our childhoods, or I'm pretending like we were watching football in 1989. We weren't.
Kirk was like 2. Well, we didn't remember.
We didn't remember.
It's subconscious.
But 49ers Bills is like the matchup we always thought was coming. Yep. It's the Chris Berman. He picked 49ers Bills. I think he still picks 49ers Bills every year. It's amazing that the 49ers and Bills didn't meet between 1988 and 1994.
It's a miracle. It really is. That's 7 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And they made it to all 7, but never played each other.
And it is like, no, it's not crazy. And it's the most chaos. It's Josh Allen versus Brock Purdy. Mm-hmm. So Allen is like this extreme fun to watch guy, and Purdy is like this 7th round rookie with these amazing players around him. And it's also a balancing act, you know. So we got 2 high wire acts in the Super Bowl. I would love that matchup.
I like that. Yeah. I guess that'd be my number 2. Yeah. My number 2 matchup of the 2 seeds.
And I would also like to see the Bengals and Vikings. They're gone.
Sorry,
can't do a 3-seed matchup.
Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
Shout out to the Revenge Bowls that are potential here. The Bills and Cowboys. It'd be really fun for the Bills if they were to win a Super Bowl to knock off the Cowboys, or
Bengals over the Niners.
Yeah, or Bengals over the Niners.
That'd be beautiful.
What if Joe Burrow led a drive against the 49ers? Let the 49ers fans feel how it feels to have a Joe Cool drive them down. I mean, that's all the Bengals are even known for, is being subject to that John Candy, Joe Montana drive.
John Candy gets so much credit for that.
I know, he really does. Conversely, the 49ers beating the Bengals for a 3rd time, or the Cowboys beating the Bills for a 3rd time would be funnily tragic.
That would be pretty. Yeah, those would be good matchups.
Yeah.
That would be revenge bowls. Yeah.
I didn't prepare you for this, but my least favorite matchup, the matchup I do not want, is Chiefs 49ers. I don't like recent rematches.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Especially just same coaches. I know Garoppolo's probably not going to be there, but it is too similar.
Yeah, too similar, and obviously Jags Giants would be completely out of the blue.
I don't think you got to worry about that one.
Yeah,
maybe.
But you never know. It's playoff time.
That's true. That would be.
They're 2 wins away from being in the Super Bowl. I mean, that's something.
That's a great point. All right, let's go to, and technically correct as well.
Technically, yeah.
Let's go to those New York Football Giants traveling to the 1 seed Philadelphia Eagles, who had the bye week. A little bit of history between these two teams. This is their 183rd meeting overall.
Wow.
They've been playing for a long time, back before World War II. In fact, during World War II, the Eagles briefly combined with the Pittsburgh Steelers because they didn't have enough players. So the Philadelphia and Pittsburgh combined teams played the Giants a few times and lost.
Dang.
That is a sidetrack that I didn't need to go down.
Reaching way back.
But, you'll come to the podcast for...
That's before Dad's child.
I know. For the World War II NFL history, these teams this will be their 5th playoff meeting.
Wow, yeah. I'm surprised. I thought it was higher.
I know. They didn't meet until 1981, so they're both like 50-year-old franchises at that point. And the Giants won that one to no success further.
Yeah.
And then the Giants beat the Eagles in the 2000 season, the Kerry Collins season.
Okay.
Where they had beaten Minnesota as well. The Eagles won the 2 most recent. And interestingly, the Eagles beat the Giants, knocked them out of the playoffs in 2006 and 2008. Wow. So the 2006 wild card on a last-second field goal. 2008, they gave them a beatdown. In between, of course, the Giants won the 2007 Super Bowl.
Just beautiful. I love that. And that's the Donovan McNabb days.
That was.
The Andy Reid days, yeah.
McNabb was a part of those games.
Coughlin.
So, dare we bring up the 2007 Giants in context of this 2022 Giants team?
I think you have to. You have to. The 07 and the 11.
Yeah.
Because they're built kind of the same. They kind of look like those teams. They're wild card teams with good defensive line, just a kind of game managing quarterback, and man, Obi's got 4 ducks there. Holy smokes.
You can hear the squeaking.
4 squeakers.
This is my fault. I gave him all his ducks.
Yeah, sorry, Ob. But yeah, I mean, I think this Giants team is built the same. I think New York rallies around their teams very well. It's a shame that this isn't in New York.
That'd be fun.
I would rather have it in New York than in Philly because it's just Miracle at the Meadowlands. I'd just be waiting for another one of those. But
oh yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of history here. But yeah, Giants, they're built the same.
Yeah,
they're built this. They finally got back. They got a good coach. Very, Dayball's kind of. I mean, he's not as ruthlessly mean as Coughlin was, but he's got the admiration of his team.
Yeah,
they believe in him.
And Coughlin made that pivot. Remember, he was like this hard ass coach, and then he pivoted to the admiration factor, basically. It is built, like you said, the defensive line, the Giants are one of my biggest pet peeves is you got to get pressure with 4. Like, duh, everyone knows that.
Yeah, they all want to.
Doing that is extremely difficult. The Giants are doing it, or at least they did it against the probably most statuesque quarterback possible in Kirk Cousins last week. They got Dexter Lawrence in the middle of the line, 340 pounds, and gets interior pass rush pressure.
Yeah, it's hard to say. He might be the next Aaron Donald.
That is absolute gold to be doing that. Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari, fabulously named pass rushers.
Beautiful, yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm proud that I actually did it. The other thing that surprised me is I was going to go on a rant about how, the 2022 Giants they're not nearly as hot as the 2007 Giants were.
Yeah.
Well, I looked it up, and the 2007 Giants, they were 4-4 to end the season.
Wow, okay. So about
Didn't you think there was like this big win streak
to get them into the playoffs?
Yeah, that's what I always thought that, but no, they lost the last game to the Patriots in a game when they didn't have to play. They were 4-4 in the final half of the season, and these Giants are 4-5-1 in the since Thanksgiving, basically.
Eerily similar.
That includes the wild card game.
Yeah.
there is a little comparison. I know Giants fans are feeling this comparison.
Oh yeah, Giants they love this. They're saying this will be our next Super Bowl team. We believe, and it's all because of the defense, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
but Daniel Jones kind of reminds you of Eli Manning, though, doesn't he? Yeah. Constantly shit on as a subpar quarterback, kind of a doof.
Yeah, he's not.
And he had that great game.
Yeah. And they're just like, he's not good enough, and then he has one game, and they all love him again.
Yeah.
Obviously, the comparisons to Eli Manning are good besides the mobility.
Yeah.
Which Daniel Jones. Yeah, Daniel Jones carried it like 15 times last game and, ate up some yards.
But that was the first time we've really seen Daniel Jones. I mean, we've seen him do the running all the time. We've never really seen him pick apart a team like he did the Vikings for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. In fact, it's his only 300-yard, 2-touchdown game of the whole year. Wow. I mean, and is that more the Vikings? I mean, what were the Vikings doing? They're like, we play zone, that's what we do. Yeah. Oh, you're averaging 20 yards a carry and 10, yards a pass. Because at one point it was 20 yards a carry. Like, well, we play zone, and that's what we do.
We're going to play Minnesota Viking football. And it's like, dude, you're the 3rd worst defense in the league. Change it up sometimes, God.
Yeah, so Daniel Jones is now facing the Eagles, who are probably not going to be that bad on defense.
No, not at all.
And this is a bad matchup for the Giants, because now let's start talking Eagles here.
Yeah.
First of all, what do the Eagles have? A much better defense. They also have a much better offensive line than Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
So, we got 2 elite tackles. I know Lane Johnson's a little banged up. He says he'll make it work. That's what he says.
But I believe him.
Yeah,
I believe
him too.
Yeah,
and there's a left tackle, Jordan Mailata. Yeah. There's of course all-pro center Jason Kelsey. The guy good guards, and Jalen Hurts is more mobile. I don't. This isn't going to be the same game. I'm just extremely worried for the Giants on both sides of the ball, to be honest.
Yeah, they have their work cut out for them, but because this is a divisional battle, they know each other very well. I think Daboll knows the Eagles by now. He's got a good game plan set up for them.
Yeah.
And it's really just about stopping that, read option with Hurts. As long as you can make Hurts have to put the ball in the air a lot, I think you're fine.
And I mean, Hurts is not fully healthy either. So if he's got the sprained right throwing shoulder, he has to be able to maybe not take hits, but be willing to take hits for him to play his game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because every time they compare him to Mahomes, we're always combining touchdowns. It's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Oh, yeah.
Hurts has 22 passing touchdowns. Mahomes has 41. But when we talk about it, we add Hurts' touchdowns to his total. Maybe we don't do that for Mahomes, but we say Hurts has a total of 35 touchdowns, period.
And we forget Mahomes has 4 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
So,
and Hurts, he's getting the rugby scrum, and I love that play. I love that quarterback sneak play. Robs Miles Sanders of all sorts of touchdowns in fantasy, but it works and it's fun. But that's also is that Hurts? Is that equivalent of what Mahomes is doing? No, it's not.
It's not. Yeah. And I think MVP race is clear. It should be Mahomes over Hurts.
Yeah.
Hurts hasn't done it yet, and he missed a couple of games.
Yeah.
But, I think he's healthier than people think.
Yeah.
The fact that he got out there in week 18 says a lot to me. Okay. And now he gets the week off.
Yeah. It's been a lot of rest.
Yeah. I think he's back. I think he's going to be just fine, but he's not going to be, what he's expected to be. Everyone's expecting him to get 100 yards and throw for 250 and have 4 touchdowns. And I'm just I don't think we're really going to get that out of Hurts.
Yeah.
Not this game.
Well, we didn't. The thing that people forget is we didn't get that for a long time. The Eagles, when they went 8-0, they were notorious for scoring in the first half, not scoring in the second half.
Yeah.
So it wasn't scorched earth. But then we had the Packers Sunday night game where Hurts went absolutely ham. Oh, yeah. And then they played the Titans the next week, which was a big deal because A.J. Brown got their GM fired midseason. When has that ever happened? So I think, I tend to agree with you. I hate agreeing with you so much.
I know, but we both hate it.
Yeah, both hate it. But it's hard to make the case for the Giants because of the rest, like you said.
Yeah.
We just have to assume the Eagles are still elite, and the Giants' only real path here is that they're not.
Pretty much. Giants' path is Daboll is legit. He's one of the best coaches in the league. This is the game where he would have to plant that flag. I think he knows that. I think he's still got a few aces up his sleeve.
Yeah.
I think he'll try to keep it close because if they fall down 2 possessions, I really don't see them coming back.
Yeah.
But, if he comes out, throws a few punches, they can take a few punches. The Giants are great at that.
Okay. Well,
But, Eagles, man, the weapons. The weapons. I mean, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, that was the dumbest trade in the history of football, in my opinion.
Titans,
And
God.
just like, what are you doing giving him up? The guy's he's an elite receiver in the prime of his career.
but Kirk, they got the 16th overall pick in the
Who-
2022 NFL draft.
Who cares? I don't even remember
It
who
could even be an A.J. Brown.
No, and it's like you already had A.J. Brown. Keep the guy. He's legit. And, they got the plethora of running backs. The problem is, I think the Eagles will shoot themselves in the foot with the running back. They just seem to just go with Miles Sanders. Quit throwing Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell in there. They don't belong on the field. They're not Darren Sproles. Just let Miles Sanders do what Miles Sanders does.
Yeah, I would love that from a fantasy perspective, going back retroactively. I think they will. I mean, I think they're smart enough to know a running. The Eagles feel like a smart team.
They do. I don't trust their coach enough.
Oh, Sirianni?
I don't trust him
I like
enough.
him.
I think he's a good coach. I just don't
Yeah.
trust him enough. I think he could easily be like Staley or the Chargers.
I'll tell you why I like Sirianni. Because a lot of coaches and a lot of people that you work for in this world dig their heels in and they will not go back. They will not admit they're wrong. Sirianni came out this pass-happy attack in 2021, told us all about why it's perfect, did huge diagrams, defended it, and about like week 7 or 8 said, guys, I messed up. We need to run the ball. Most coaches would not do that. And for that reason, Sirianni has just had my heart since then.
I agree with you on that. I like that, but I don't like that he made a mistake. You can't make that mistake.
Well, he is an NFL head coach. You get punished for those type of things.
But at least he admitted it, because some coaches are so damn stubborn they would just stick to their philosophy regardless.
No matter what, this is how it's always been done.
Like Kingsbury did the same thing. Just never really changed his philosophy, and it caught up to him.
Yeah, well, now he's in Thailand.
Yeah. Have fun.
Have fun in Thailand, Kingsbury.
Yeah.
So we're both taking Eagles here. It sounds.
I mean, it's so hard to pick the Giants in this game. It really is. I mean, I guess I have to take the Eagles.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I didn't even talk about the pass rushers: Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick, Robert Quinn. Eagles had 70 sacks. I know Daniel Jones is mobile, but it's different than the Vikings game.
It's a good-looking defense and probably a little more underrated than people really give it credit.
James Bradbury.
Yeah.
Bradbury's a big story. Cut by the Giants because of salary cap casualty, and Eagles picked him up.
Yeah, the offense gets all the love, but the defense has really held their own.
I think the Eagles defense is going to eat Daniel Jones for breakfast,
and they already have twice this season. So
sorry, what time is this game on? Is this the morning game? Sunday, I believe.
I think so.
So more of a brunch than anything. And I guess if we are here talking Eagles loss, I think we'll be talking Jalen Hurts complete meltdown, which we've seen.
Yeah.
He did it in the college football playoffs multiple times, and he's done it in primetime multiple times. Well, I don't think it'll happen this time, though. I think he's turned a corner.
I'm pretty sure the only way the Giants win this game is if the Eagles shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
It's not about the Giants winning. It's more about the Eagles screwing up.
I don't think they're gonna. They're just so rested. I don't
know. Last year, both the 1 seeds went down in the
That's
first
true.
game, so, there's still a chance for the Giants, but what's the line? I mean, it's actually 7.
Eagles by 7.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The Giants, I think, will keep it close for a while, but I don't think they can hang with them for 4 quarters.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go to the next game. Dallas Cowboys at San Francisco 49ers.
Let's go.
So unlike Jaguars Chiefs, in which I basically had to gloss over that they've never played in the playoffs, these teams, they met before. And I don't think you even remember many people remember, you and I weren't alive, they actually met in the first two NFC championship games, 1970 and 71.
Oh, yeah.
Roger Staubach Cowboys won that over the John Brody 49ers on their way towards Brody.
John Brody, man. Yeah.
On their way, Cowboys' way to winning Super Bowl V, losing Super Bowl VI. And then on December 23rd, 1972, about 30 minutes after the Immaculate Reception, the Cowboys and 49ers faced off for a third straight year in the NFC Divisional. 49ers had a 28-13 lead, and Roger Staubach led a comeback. 30-20, same day as the Immaculate Reception.
Man, what a day.
I had no idea that happened.
I hope you were watching football on that day.
That was a great day of football. 49ers then went into squalor for the 70s, while the Cowboys, of course, had a great decade competing with the Steelers for then 1981 comes. Tom Landry gets knocked off his NFC perch by the Bill Walsh 49ers, the 1981 NFC title game, the catch.
The catch.
The official symmetrical changing of the NFC guard, the play that's in every single, this play should not be reproduced. Again,
we're just talking about it.
We're not
showing it. We're
selling anything.
Yeah.
Then, of course, the Cowboys fade for the 80s. 49ers dominate the 80s.
Yep.
And then they come back in the 90s. The Jimmy Johnson, Troy Aikman Cowboys, the Steve Young, Jerry Rice 49ers. They meet 3 times in a row in the NFC title game. And then nothing from there.
Nothing for a long time.
Until last year. Because the Kyle Shanahan 49ers traveled to the Mike McCarthy Cowboys last year in a wild card game.
Oh, no
The
kidding.
only good wild card game really last year, in which the Cowboys, they tried to take advantage of all Jimmy Garoppolo's mess ups, but they spiked the ball as the last play and they lost.
Yep. Just didn't get enough time. They got the whole center snafu. The ref had to plant the ball and get back. That was just a mess.
It was crazy. And they shouldn't have even been that close, but Garoppolo had thrown a pick and done the wrong snap count. And I don't want to go through that whole game here, but so there's some history.
Yeah.
I'm going to like Sunday night just sitting down and watching 49ers Cowboys playoffs, just squinting my eyes and being like, man,
beautiful.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is history right
such
here.
a good rivalry. I mean, just decade after decade.
And it's California versus Texas.
Yeah.
Two of the biggest states opposites.
Love that. Yeah.
Ronald Reagan versus Lyndon B. Johnson. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, but I guess Nixon's also from California. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do. It's Texas versus California, which is friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where most our people are in this country. So
this year, the Cowboys fresh off knocking out Tom Brady Buccaneers on Monday Night Football.
Love it.
Traveling up to the 49ers, who just slaughtered our Seahawks. It was close for a while. Close for 2.5 quarters.
Seahawks were up in the first half.
Seahawks were up in the first half, but ultimately the 49ers, who are probably Super Bowl favorites at this point. Would you say that?
I would say so, the way they're getting the hype.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd still lean towards AFC, but Niners, they're on a roll, dude.
Maybe it's because they beat the Seahawks, but something about the faces as the game ended and they're showing a smiling Debo and they're showing a smiling McCaffrey. By the way, I love those two guys.
Oh, yeah.
They're showing Purdy, that Kyle Shanahan's laughing with Nick Bosa. Greenlaw's got his arm around Fred Warner. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yep.
They're all healthy, fresh. No one's in the blue tent. I was like, oh, this looks like the team to beat.
It's tough. It's tough to pick against the Niners now.
Yeah.
They have so many friggin' weapons on both sides of the ball. They're a Pro Bowl team. They're a Pro Bowl team with a 7th round quarterback who's just doing just enough.
Yeah. And now it is time. That is our cue for the obligatory Brock Purdy discussion.
Man.
Is he good?
This guy, man. This guy gets so much credit.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. To me, it's like they're already anointing him as the next Tom Brady.
Get out the anointing oils.
They're already doing it. It's bothering me. They're just like, well, he's a good game managing quarterback with a bunch of weapons. He doesn't try to do too much. He was drafted late, and they're just like, I'm tired of it already. I'm tired of it. And he hasn't lost a game yet, which I honestly think hurts them a little bit.
What was it, 11 in a row?
I think so. I think they won 11 in a row, and I think Purdy's got 6 or 7 of them.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm just like, man, he hasn't lost a game he's improvising a little bit, like a little bit more, a little more reckless, you know?
One of those, if Brandon Ayuk catches that pylon, the Purdy play that he made, which is actually a good one.
Yeah.
Then then Purdy is better than Brady, according to some sources.
Some people would already anoint him the GOAT.
I mean, can it be in the middle? Can Brock Purdy not be Tom Brady, but also not be a piece of literal poop?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard on the internet to find that nuance.
He's not Brady, but he's not Garoppolo.
Because sometimes you say, like, Purdy, is benefiting from Debo, McCaffrey, Kittle, and an elite offensive line and an elite defense. And people go, you're just saying that because Mr. Relevant. No human is irrelevant. Every human matters. It's like, what are you even talking about, man?
What's that have to do with it?
That's an actual interaction on Twitter that I've applied to the overall national discourse.
Yeah.
But I really think that Brock Purdy is actually better than Jimmy Garoppolo, which isn't saying much. I'd say that's about 35% of Tom Brady. So I think Purdy. Let me just put it this way. Okay, here I had this all ready to go.
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan needs to draw up 3 plays for Jimmy Garoppolo to hit 1. He needs to drop 2.5 plays for Purdy to hit 1.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Yeah. I guess I would agree. Yeah.
I like the decisions that he makes. I think he knows his place. That's important.
Yeah.
I think Purdy is, you mentioned the improvisation, and maybe this will be the Achilles heel as we go forward.
That's what I'm leaning towards.
Okay. Yeah. And I could see that. But so far, maybe the Ayuk thing, so far, he just seems to be okay. I mean, sure, let's check it down to Debo and have him go 75 yards. Shrug it off and go back. Whereas Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't even do that. Some of those were just pick sixes.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Jimmy Garoppolo's the most overrated quarterback of all time. I cannot understand how anyone thought Jimmy Garoppolo was good at all.
I don't understand.
He couldn't even put up numbers in this offense.
I know.
He couldn't put up numbers.
Couldn't even beat the Broncos.
Yeah. They're saying, like, Purdy's stats are inflated by the great offense. Well, why weren't Jimmy Garoppolo's stats inflated?
Exactly. Right?
He sucked.
How bad could he have possibly been?
Like Purdy, 332 and 3 touchdowns is the 5th best fantasy playoff game for a 49er quarterback.
Wow.
In playoff history.
Well, yeah, it's still elite company. Yeah.
When you look at the list, first of all, Kaepernick is number 1 because of that running game against the Packers.
Yeah.
But then it's like 9 Montanas, 9 Youngs, and 1 Purdy. one Kaepernick, 1 Purdy. By the way, no Garoppolo.
Of course.
I think there's a Garcia in there too, but it's impressive. If you're going to be on a list for this franchise, that's the one you want to be.
Yeah, I agree. But, he doesn't have to do too much. I mean, it just bothers me. He's still a rookie.
Yeah.
He might get stuck in a situation and we don't want him in.
It's the impending doom. Everything doesn't continue forever.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you on that. Though, God,
that defense is stacked, though.
The defense is stacked.
That defense
I got
is stacked.
Stars in my eyes looking at the 49ers defense.
It's a Pro Bowl defense.
Nick Bosa, Greenlaw, Fred Warner, Talanoa Hufanga, Armstead. I mean,
they're lit.
God. I mean, Pro Bowl defense is not far off.
It's really not. It's fantastic. One of the best defenses I've seen actually play football.
Yeah.
It's a miracle the Hawks even put up points.
Yeah, and Jarrett Stidham crushed him a bit. I'm willing to give the 49ers one mulligan. On that one. Nick Bosa came out and said, they were really disappointed with their performance against the Seahawks. And they said it was a Pete Carroll adjustment. They credited Pete Carroll. As you said, how did the Seahawks win? Pete Carroll masterpiece?
Yeah.
They changed up their running game.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker went from a downhill runner to a patient runner in the scheme that they were running, and the 49ers were thrown by it.
Yeah.
But they adjusted.
It worked for a half.
Yeah. Dallas Cowboys defense pretty good too.
Don't sleep on that.
We just talked about all the superstars that the 49ers have on defense, yet the best defensive player in this game is probably Micah Parsons.
I would agree.
I mean, the Cowboys have him.
Yeah.
They got Lawrence. I like this game. This is fun. Because the Cowboys just played a crushing game. They just crushed Tom Brady. These are the 2 teams that dominated somebody on Wild Card Weekend, and they're playing each other.
Yeah. And the Cowboys made it look easy. which I was shocked by. I was seriously shocked by it. I mean, that was a blowout against Tom Brady and the Bucs. I mean, like that was baffling.
And they stayed aggressive too. Mike McCarthy didn't fold it in, a-la his history with the Packers.
Oh, yeah.
When the Buccaneers scored that touchdown at the end of the third quarter, Brady to Julio, and you're thinking, oh God, this is how it happens. Brady's going to win this game somehow because the 4 missed extra points.
Oh, yeah.
And the Cowboys came out the next drive, and they were pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
Same offense. No handing off for the sake of handing off. They were going for first downs. They were going for touchdowns.
Yeah, they kept the gas down. They said, we're going to finish this game. It's a do-or-die game. We got to win it.
And Dak Prescott looked the best he's looked in, 9 games?
Yeah.
I mean, since he's returned, basically?
Honestly, yeah. That was the best I've seen Dak play. It's probably this season.
It's his only game without a turnover since he returned. And that may go with... I don't know. I feel bad for that stat because there are some games where Dak had 1 turnover that was not his fault at all.
Yeah.
So like,
it was a tip or
it's
whatever.
been a fluky type of thing. Okay, here's the fact. I told you I was going to surprise you with a fact today.
You did warn me about that, and I already forgot.
Dak Prescott's the oldest quarterback in the playoffs.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
No way.
By 2 years.
Holy crap.
We are old, Kirk.
Wow.
Dak Prescott
Man.
is the old guy in the playoffs.
He's the vet?
He's the vet.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that insane?
That is bad. That's a mind-blowing fact right there.
Holy
I
knew it would
crap.
get you.
Man, that made me feel so old.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. To be fair, it is a pretty, with Purdy and Lawrence and Hurts. I mean, it's pretty young. But
how old is Dak? He's like 30?
I think he's 29. I think Mahomes is 27. He's 2 years older than Mahomes.
Jesus Christ.
It's a young quarterback group, but that's
baffling right there, man.
And that's why I think I like this playoff so much, though, is this young blood.
Yeah.
At the quarterback position.
All the newcomers, no Brady, no Rodgers, there's no Roethlisberger anymore. This is good.
I think this might. Okay. I think I'm going to take Dallas in this game.
Going with the upset?
My brain says 49ers. We've drooled over the 49ers defense. We could do for another 35 minutes.
Probably, yeah.
They're really, really good. And, of course, they also have McCaffrey and Debo, who literally, they're playing like I play Madden. Like, McCaffrey's got 133 yards and a touchdown. Debo's got 133 yards and a touchdown. Like, you got to get all the stats even.
Let's get Kittle more involved. Get him those stats.
Exactly.
Ayuk's got to get a little bit more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the Cowboys are that team that's peaking at the right time. And when it comes down to Dak Prescott versus Brock Purdy in a close game, I am going to take Dak Prescott. And here's my completely unscientific reason. In the ESPN broadcast, they posted up a thing as Tom Brady was threatening a comeback there that said Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard have not fumbled all year. Oh. And then the Cowboys didn't fumble. It's their year.
Yeah.
They withstood that level of jinx.
That level of jinx, and you withstand it.
It's their year. I don't make the rules. That's just how football works, folks.
I think Micah Parsons going to go off and have a good game.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you on that.
This brings another pet peeve. Like, Micah Parsons could be outdone by Trent Williams, who's also one of the best players in the NFL. Well, how do you think the Cowboys avoid that? They put him on the other side.
Pretty simple, yeah. And you got Lawrence, so just throw Lawrence on that side.
Yeah. And that's a big part of Parsons' success. You've got to have the other pass rusher. That's a big part of Nick Bosa's success.
Exactly. You got to have multiple guys.
Trey Greenlaw.
You can't focus on one guy.
Yeah. Are you with me? Are you also going to take the plunge to Dallas here?
I don't think I've picked an upset. So, maybe this is the game. Oh, man, it's so hard to pick it. Okay, here's my thing. The Niners have got to lose either this game or the next one because a rookie quarterback has never been in the Super Bowl.
Really? Ever?
I don't think so.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Yeah, because Russell was second year.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Everybody's a second year. That's about the earliest.
Yeah, Burrow, second year.
Rookie never really makes it. So Purdy's got to go down at some point. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the Eagles next week, but I kind of like Dallas going into San Fran. It seems like San Fran's they're so hyped that it's something bad's about to happen. And Kyle Shanahan, sorry, man, he's had a few choke games.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I'm not saying Mike McCarthy hasn't either, but it's clearly the Cowboys are the underdogs.
Yep.
And is good for the Cowboys. When everybody says the Cowboys are good, they play bad. When everybody says they're not good enough, they play fantastic.
I love
right?
that.
Last week against
we picked the Bucks.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, and I was just like, yep, they're obviously going to blow it. You know, they're the underdog. They were the underdog against an 8-9 team. And now they're really the underdog against a good San Francisco team here. But I think Purdy's going to do something stupid in this game.
Yeah.
Like he gets some pressure. They get him off their rhythm. Yeah. They have to focus too much on the ground game a little bit. And, Dak's playing good, and he's the vet.
Yeah. He's the vet.
He's the vet.
The Shanahan-McVay offense can only take you so far. There comes that point at which the quarterback needs to make the play. And the only true success that this has truly had is McVay last year. And was it a McVay scheme that won that Super Bowl? No. It was a Matthew Stafford no-look pass to Cooper Kupp.
Exactly.
You need that point. And yeah, I mean, Purdy didn't look good at the beginning of the Seahawks game. We're Seahawks fans here, so 49ers fans are probably screaming at their radio sets or whatever they're listening to this on.
These guys are idiots.
Yeah. Homer's picking the Cowboys. You just hate us. Which maybe there's a little of that. I'll admit there's maybe a little of that.
That's so San Fran. you posh people, man. Come on.
As Dad said, they're just in the stands passing around wine and cheese.
Eating their fondue.
Yeah, exactly. They probably listen to My Cheese podcast, which again,
the Oak Barrel,
horrible. Need to learn more about cheese, but
it's on the to-do list.
Yeah. All right. Well, I
think we're going Cowboys upset. I think.
Yeah,
I like that. I want the Niners to go down. I guess I'm more just rooting for that.
Yeah. I'm rooting for it too, and that's why we picked it. All right.
Hell yeah.
NFC, it's going to be a great weekend of football. My name is Miles.
I'm Kirk.
That's Obi. Good night. Yeah.